This video isn't going to be very easy to make, but I do want to make it. I don't do music breakdowns because you have to have a special something for it. It's a combination of reading comprehension, poetry, writer intent, and a lot of things that I like to watch that sort of thing, and I think that there are some channels out there who are really good at it, but I've never really wanted to try and do it myself. Until now. I've been listening to a song recently that is pretty much reliably able to get me to cry. And it's kind of a not out of place, kind of a strange pick. And even I myself didn't really see it coming. It's actually from the new Guilty Gear Strive. I've always been a fan of Guilty Gear, even though I was never particularly good at it. I kind of just observed that series from afar, and one of my favorite characters to watch was Baiken. I knew that they were going to add Baiken to the newest game, but I wasn't expecting her song to hit this hard. Hit me specifically this hard. The song is called Mirror of the World, and I think an alternative name for it could have easily been The Time Exile. Because throughout the song, while this Japanese mantra, I think they call it the mantra of light, that is being chanted, there's a voice in the background that goes, "I'm the Time Exile." Keep breath. The fact that I am an exile isn't something that is a joke. It's very real, it's very serious. I'm an outcast. My life as a tribeswoman is over. And it's something that I still kind of struggle with, but it's kind of like a part of me. So, throughout the song, in the background, there's a voice that goes, "I'm the Time Exile." But after what I can only assume is like a moment of reflection, because I assume it's being sung from the perspective of Baiken. There's this bit about having a comrade, but as you reach the end of the mantra of light, the voice in the background changes from saying, "I'm the Time Exile," to saying, "I am not the exile." And then right on the last line of the mantra of light, it changes again and says, "You are not the exile." That's pretty deep. Because being the outcast has kind of become a part of me. It's just a part of life that I've learned to kind of accept and deal with. But I still find myself thinking, what if it wasn't? It probably wouldn't change too much about my daily life or my life situation, but I still think that it would mean the world of me for someone to say, "No, you aren't an outcast. You still have a place somewhere." The realization that Baiken isn't an outcast and neither are you, is huge to me, and I really love this song. But there's more to it than that. I'm a big fan of a show, or of an anime called Log Horizon. I think it's a fantastic anime, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I definitely recommend that you watch it in English, just because maybe after you hear what I'm about to say, you'll see why. But the main protagonist, Shiro, doesn't join a guild, and he has a bunch of reasons why he shouldn't. A bunch of cons and a bunch of, negative connotations to being part of a group.
I hated it.
And so do I.
And that's why I didn't join. I don't know.
I was
Having
originally
people
in
rely on
charge
you isn't a
of...
bad thing, I guess.
I was the
I wish I
creator and
told
leader
Master
of a
had
group
better
called the
handle
Crimson
on the
Control
situation.
Association,
You're totally
CCA.
freaking
And,
screwed, man.
you know,
But you get a bunch of people together,
what can
and
I
it's
say?
almost
They were
impossible to talk them into doing the right
some of the
thing.
greatest people
It's ridiculous.
I have ever known.
Come on, Shiro.
There was no question
There's got
whether
to
or
be a
not I
way.
trusted them because it was obvious in the way that we
Is there a
talked and
guild
interacted with each
I
other.
could
They were my
work with?
closest friends, and
Hey, Shiro. Still having trouble
unfortunately,
with
they
guilds,
have
my man?
all passed away. It's just me now,
Hey there, Chief.
and
Yeah?
I never.
I'm stumped, Chief. I guess I just don't get
It gets really
I keep
complicated
telling myself
because
over and over and over again all the reasons I never wanted to join a guild, and it sounds
I
more like
want-
I'm whining every time.
I'll
wanted
be the
and
first
still
to admit
want
that the system
the
doesn't
feeling
encourage guilds to
of
make what I call moral choices.
that group,
And anybody with
that
half a
togetherness,
conscience
but I
wouldn't
never
fault you for
wanted it to
staying
feel
away.
like I was trying
No.
to replace some of my best friends. So, all of my attempts to start like a new group were kind of half-assed. And despite how I look or the things that I say, I still have impossible expectations of myself and of other people. So joining a group as just like a member and following somebody else's lead just never felt right either.
But like all those
It
other
never
systems
felt
I
like
was talking about,
anyone was
it's
able
because
to,
we put energy into
able
keeping
or
it
willing
working.
to
If you ever stumble on a treasure that you
take
didn't have to work
on
for,
the full
throw it back.
responsibilities
It's worthless and not worth your time.
or put forth the same energy that they expected from the members of said group. And I've seen firsthand in a bunch of different places and in a bunch of different ways what it looks like when you have a group of people who can't or won't do the right thing or won't put forth the energy it takes to make something work. So the result of that is I do a lot of stuff by myself. There are occasions, of course, exceptions to that, where I'll approach other people, but it's only ever one person, and it's pretty much always once, or very few in numbers, you know? Because I have the concern that I just don't have what it takes to be a leader, and I've convinced myself that I just will never belong to another place or another group. But Shiro of Lock Horizon said something really, really interesting about instead of trying to find a place to belong, you do need to put forth the energy to create one. And he'll never have room for himself until he gives others a chance.
I have made a guild of my own. We're starting out and we're kind of small, but it's not a bad thing when you think about it. But I'll only have a place for myself after I've given other people the chance. I think that's fair.
And there's a reason why those lines in particular stick with me as much as they do, because somewhere deep down I do still feel like I don't have to be the exile, I don't have to be the outcast, that I can still have a place to belong and a positive outlet to direct all of my energy. But this drifting thing isn't working. So I think I'm ready to make a call. Instead of looking for a place to belong, I am going to create one for myself. And up until now, that's kind of been what the Tales of a Traveler series has been about. It's been me going around, trying different things, recommended by different people, with different people to try and see if I can find a new place to try to be. And I want to shift away from that and turn it into me creating a place for myself and for other people to be. So it is my sincerest hope that you will subscribe to the channel. Because if you're anything like me, then maybe while I try and find a home, you will find a home. And if nothing else, when I create one, I can share that home with you. And if that's a little bit too cheesy, too corny, too sappy, then if nothing else, I hope you'll stick around and remind me when I start to forget. Because whatever I try and do, I know that I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. But that's all. I don't know, I kind of felt the urge to share that. And yeah, it's one thing to talk about it, but I'm not gonna sit on my hands on this one. I'm gonna really try my best to make sure that nothing that I said here was empty or hollow. So, I'm off to get to it. And I don't quite know exactly what that means just yet, but you will be the first to know when I find out. So until then, take it easy, and as always, thank you for watching.